Two-Face here, back with another reaction video. This time reacting to Across the Alps, Hannibal Part 2, Second Punic Wars by History March. Now, if you haven't seen my reaction to the first episode of this series, I suggest you check that reaction out before checking this one out. So as I said, my knowledge on Hannibal is a bit limited. All I know, he's from Carthage, which is, if I remember rightly, is in North Africa, and was at odds with the Roman Empire. Sorry, I don't know why my brain froze for a sec. Well, just me. And he was one of Rome's biggest threats. So the usual disclaimer when I react to any historical content: if I don't show so much of what is considered a proper reaction, it is probably obvious that I don't know much about the subject at hand, and if I do know anything, I'll most likely pause the video and share my input or ask any curious questions, which hopefully will be answered in the comments below. So yeah, without going on too long, the link to the original video will be in the description down below. Please go and subscribe to History March. They're a brilliant history channel, one of the best ones that I've seen on YouTube, and so without further ado, I hope you support their channel. Let's get this up on screen and let's see what happens this. So Across the Alps, let's see what happens. First 50 awesome pictures. Okay. Sorry, I'll just skip forward a little bit. The prize of death is on the battlefield. It is to depart from life in the heat of the fight. Hannibal. Yeah, because what little I remember about Hannibal, and he was from Carthage, which you can hopefully see easily right here. So, oh, and every now and again, if you do see me look over to my other monitor where my finger is pointing, I'm trying to make my videos as you know, I'm trying to make sure that I've got as less lag as possible, and I'm hoping this video comes out as good enough quality for your enjoyment. So I'm hoping further down the line to improve the situation, but at the moment I'm just stuck with what I got. So so let's get back into this. It's interesting to see how Hannibal makes his way to the Alps.
It is the year 280 BC. As Roman legions under Consul Tiberius Sempronius Longus sail south to invade Carthage itself, Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio Calvus is consolidating Rome's position in Iberia, while his brother, Consul Publius Cornelius Scipio, rushes back to the Po Valley to take command of the Roman army there and stop Hannibal. Both sides are confident of victory. Although the Carthaginians are faced with serious setbacks in Iberia, in Gaul, Hannibal speeds up his approach to the Alps when he befriends the Allobroge tribe by adjudicating in a dispute between two royal brothers over who should rule. The seemingly grateful new ruler of the tribe, Brancus the Elder, provides the Carthaginians with supplies, warm clothes, food, and guides. And so begins Hannibal's perilous journey through the Alps.
Yeah, because I think I remember he took some war elephants across the Alps.
But as the ascent begins, Brancus's friendly guides turn home. Here, Hannibal shows he is as skillful in mind games as he is in generalship. Sensing an ambush, he sends scouts ahead who report that the tribesmen are indeed mustering their forces.
Wow.
Just ahead, on higher ground near their settlement, waiting to attack the passing Carthaginian column. With a select group of experienced troops, Hannibal sneaks up to a position overlooking the tribal settlement and plans his next move.
Wow.
As night falls, he signals his army to proceed marching. Spotting the movement, tribal sentries raise the alarm and, just as Hannibal had hoped, an attack begins on the Carthaginian column. Expecting the impending attack, Carthaginian troops below stand fast on the precipice. A swarm of tribal warriors smashes into their solid defensive line, the initial push throwing many over the cliff's edge. But the Carthaginians hold their ground, and the tribesmen soon realize that they have fallen into a trap. Hannibal rushes downhill while Carthaginian troops from below simultaneously begin pushing.
And it's amazing, some people underestimate the power of scouts. Well, God, I'm really losing. I can't really speak properly. How valuable scouts are. You can never underestimate that.
Pushing uphill. Many tribesmen are cut down in a matter of minutes. Their morale broken by the lightning-fast Carthaginian counterattack. With the enemy driven off, Hannibal and his men turn their attention towards the village. They storm the tribal settlement and seize all of their winter provisions.
Wow.
At dawn, the Carthaginian march resumes. Over the following 3 days, the marching column continues unopposed. But all that changes on the 4th day, as the Carthaginians enter a narrow gorge where they are met by several tribal chiefs who offer friendship, hostages and guides. Suspecting that the Gallic tribes from these parts are no friendlier, Hannibal accepts their offer, but takes precautions by secretly moving the vulnerable baggage train and cavalry to the front of the column, and positions his heavier infantry in the rear.
Okay. To disguise his real objective, of course.
As the Carthaginians' march continues through the extremely narrow pass, the 200-meter vertical cliffs ominously tower over them.
Oh,
And
that's
they
horrible.
are not alone.
I was
The
about to say,
Gallic
that's a good
warriors
place for
are
an ambush.
watching from above. Having set up an ambush further up the gorge, the tribesmen bide their time, shadowing Hannibal's army for 2 days. But suddenly, at a very narrow point in the gorge, the Carthaginian column gets blocked from the front as the tribesmen unleash their attack. Rocks and projectiles rain down from the cliffs above onto the Carthaginians below, killing many in the process.
Wow.
Animals panic and trample over soldiers who hopelessly look for cover. The main Gallic force appears behind the Carthaginian column and charges the rear, expecting weakest resistance there, as they hope to loot and destroy their supply train. But again, Hannibal proves he is one step ahead of his opponents, as the heavy Carthaginian infantry he previously placed in the rear pushes back the Gallic charge and inflicts heavy losses on the enemy, forcing them to retreat after a brief battle. Hannibal then urges his men to push forward out of the killing zone as the barrage of rocks from above continues. It is not until 1 day later that the Carthaginians finally reach safety on the other side of the gorge. The last of the Alebroge attacks is beaten off, but the remorseless fighting against the Gallic tribes took its toll on Hannibal's army.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, the weather soon turns as winter comes early. Hannibal's troops find themselves battling heavy snowstorms. While traversing through rocky gorges and steep mountain slopes, many are swallowed by treacherous voids lurking just under the snowfall. Men, animals and wagons slip and slither on the ice towards precipitous ravines and treacherous chasms. Finally, 9 days into the march, the Carthaginians set up camp just below the top of the pass as they wait for stragglers to catch up. 2 days later, Hannibal rallies his troops at the top and points to the panorama of Italy below. There he vows to his men, "You will have the capital of Italy, the citadel of Rome, in the hollow of your hands." And with that, they begin descending towards the Po Valley. But the slopes on the way down are far steeper and largely covered in ice. The treacherous terrain claims the lives of many more troops and animals. Adding to the hardship, a collapsed stretch of road forces the Carthaginian column to stop for 3 days amidst freezing conditions while the road is repaired. But finally, after braving these horrific conditions, the Carthaginians reach the foot of the Alps. Having lost nearly half his army, Hannibal takes stock of his troops, who suffered terribly during the crossing. Of the 45,000 that set off through the Alps just 16 days ago, only 26,000 made it to the other side.
I suppose there's no point Hannibal trying to go by sea because of the Roman navy probably would have been in a good position to destroy his army if he tried to come by sea. So it does beg the question, like, how many options did Hannibal have if he didn't, like, what other option could he have if he couldn't cross the Alps or go through the Alps, however you want to say it. Wow, that went by quicker than I thought. During the crossing Alps, Hannibal supposedly rode on an Asian elephant called Saurus, the Syrian. Asian elephants were larger than their African cousins, and by riding this enormous beast, Hannibal believed that the fearsome spectacle would persuade the Gauls to remain loyal. But that's the debate. According to legend, when the march was blocked by giant boulders, Hannibal's engineers built fires to heat up the rock and then poured vats of wine and vinegar over it. Rapid transition from hot to cold cracked the giant rocks, enabling Hannibal's troops to move the smaller pieces and clear the road. Good ideas. Just thanks to his outstanding leadership qualities, Hannibal not only controlled his army during the crossing, which had a large number of mercenaries in its ranks, but also kept everyone together during incredible hardship, which could have led to mutiny under a less capable leader. Wow. Okay, that'll do it. Let me just get that off screen. This has been another interesting video in this series. So, as I said in the beginning of my first reaction to this series, I'm going to react to the entire series. So I hope I've made this a good enough reaction for video. So anyway, if you like this reaction, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.